Okay, as of 2018 through 2019 deer season, this is how my method for gutting a deer. So, it starts off just like a regular skinning method. Gotta get these legs started, get the deer hung up. Actually, go ahead and skin the thing. So, it's kind of what you've already seen plus the gutting method. So, if you've already seen that, seen my skinning, just skip forward. Matter of fact, I take that back. Let's make this a tutorial. Alright, you got two joints right here. That is if the woman don't get in the light. You ain't gonna be able to see them from that angle, but you got this big wide joint here, and then you got your little joint here. Now I'm going to exaggerate that a little bit by starting up here just to show you. I normally don't start this far up a leg, but just to give y'all the idea. I'm going to peel some of this back once I get it down here. Get ready to step over it if you have to now. Let's get where you can see. So definitely not my normal method here, but she just specifically told me not to go on a speed test. Okay. Alright, that's out of the way. Okay. Now hopefully this is a little more exaggerated now. You can see that joint and you can see this joint. You really can't see where that one bent, but you ain't got to. You take your knife. You're going to be using this much of your knife probably 80 or 90% of the time. Because even right then you see now, you use the tip going under the hide this way, use just the tip raking around. 5/6 of this blade don't get used a whole lot. So since it ain't getting used a whole lot, this is the side of the knife as far back as you can get it that you want to use on the bones. Because the bones are going to dull your edges you put on this knife. So what you do, take the back of this knife, see where the widest part of that joint is, feel for it if you have to. You can actually feel it swell out. Go for the widest point of that, rake your knife across and rake back. See, I'm staying on the back of the knife, raking across. Now that's all I've done. But no sawing, I literally could have just went whack whack and that would have been done. Now that you got that done, you take this, reach one hand under, and I'm going down and out at the same time. So I'm kind of going that direction, but what ends up happening is it's going to crack, just like that. So as you can see, I didn't dull most of this knife. Matter of fact, just dull the back here, so I can just roll it over, and then go down and out at the same time, crack. That leg's opening out now. Since I've already got this hawk started, I normally go a little further down, but this is a gutting deal, and we actually got to worry about a milk sac and all that. So once it's down, you can bend it on out using the back of your knife again, cut it off. When you hit bone, use the back of the knife. We're just going to repeat the process on this other leg. Now, here's what it looks like when you don't open the joint up. You just come right here, roll it around, and it's that fast. And you got a nice open hole right here to run your knife down into. You can open up. Now, you're going to see it's tendon right down here. You got to pay a lot of attention to that as well. Which I ain't going to hit it right now, because if I hit it, come back and hit all this other hide right here. This hide is touching. For an example, between this leader or tendon, whatever you're going to call it, and this shank. So that hide's actually touching in between them. If I was to use that tip and fire it up, I'd cut all this hide. But you can see where the seams are, hopefully, right here, whoever's phone that is. Okay, so, skin's touching right here. Had a phone interruption. Now, you're aiming for that seam is all you're aiming for, using the tip of that knife again. If you can see where it's connecting again, you want to get over halfway around that tendon. And you're hitting the high spots. Right now, this is the high spot where the connective tissue is. So I'm going to hit it and just follow through. Hitting high spots. And once you've got over halfway around, and you've got it exposed just like that, time to go to the other side. Start down about here. Just pulling this way and reaching over with this knife. Just repeating the process. The point of going over halfway is that when you get to this side, all you got to do is go straight down. For me, being right-handed, any person no matter if you're right or left hand, you got your knife hand, you got your off hand. Your off hand naturally wants to pull this way to cut. See what I'm saying? It makes life easier that way. It's hard for this arm to pull this way because you're going to use a lot of shoulder muscle. So if you get over halfway on this side of it, when you come over here to this side, it's just straight down. You spend less time on this side because it's your off side, it's your uncomfortable side, which just makes the day flow by a little better. But by getting over halfway on that side, I've easily opened that up just now. Like so. Same thing. Bend the leg back, get under, just back that knife, cut up. There's 2 legs off. Nice, ready to hang up. The fast winch makes this job look more professional. But we're just going to do what we got to do. Well, I guess we can eat up a little bit of time here while this is getting stretched up. I actually made this gamble right here. It's an eyeball, little nut on the bottom, piece of square tubing, don't know what side. I cut some relief cuts out here, and I actually blacksmithed and forged my own hooks out of some stainless steel. Now I know they're black, but that's because I never took the forge smudge off them, whatever you're going to call that. I don't know, coal marks, whatever you want to call it, where it got burnt, the char, the ash, I don't know. Where the hot stuff happened, I never took it off, okay? It just has a little character to it. I might do a video on how I made that one day, who knows. But anyways, next step, I'm going to do like I done up there, I'm going to exaggerate by cutting way up here just for demonstrative purposes. And then I'm going to show you how to do it normally on that leg. Now, same thing, ball, you're coming down this way and going out that way. You got a couple of joints right here. You can actually see where they bend. If you stick your hand right there, or your fingertips, you can actually feel where it bends. Pretty easy to find. It goes at an angle like this. Same thing, going to hit that knife. We'll use the back and go over, but until we get to that point, I'm going to exaggerate it once again. Just sticking the point in, working it up. There's enough for us to work with right now. Normally you ain't got to hold it between your legs doing this particular step. But once again, we're showing off. We're not showing off, we're demonstrating. We're showing off. Okay. Okay. So here this is. You can see it a little easier now. And I hope y'all can pick that up. Hope it ain't too bright on camera, but either way, you find that little joint right there, and you roll, just all I done was nick it. And I didn't do no crazy sawing, just a little nick, and just keep on going back. Once you get it down so far, get it to your, I mean, you could literally just rock your blade through this and it would come on open. What I normally do is just kind of get it started and give it a crack. It just saves time. It turns, 4 or 5 rocks into 1 rock and a crack. Just a lot faster, a little trick of the trade. But anyways, also the good purpose of having that there, having this extra hide, instead of having to grab it way out here, you've got good grips of this slick bone, which I'll demonstrate on that leg. The closer you can get to that animal, the closer your knife is to your body, the easier it is to use and the more leverage you got on it. If somebody tries to push your arm down and you're holding it right here close to your body, you can hold them pretty good. Or you're toting groceries back to the house, you hold them close. You don't hold them way out here. You got leverage working against you. You don't want that knife way from you. You want to be close to that knife as you can get comfortable. Or just have a knife in your arm as close to your body as possible. But anyways, I'm gonna come right here in the middle of the brisket. All I'm doing is went down that leg right here. Now, in one cut, you can hit in there, come around, and you go up the middle. Now, on a regular deer that's already been gutted, coming into a processing, you wouldn't do anything at this point because they'd already gutted, took care of a bunch of stuff. It's going to be a lot nastier. But at this point, you got to worry about all these guts right here. So you're just using the tip of that knife, and it really, really helps to know your knife trying to stab them guts. And even right there, you say I'm barely nicking. But anyways. This might be kind of hard for her to film. She's a little shorter than I am. I'll just bear with her. It ain't her fault. She's laughing though, and I busted the milk sack. Ain't the end of the world. what they make a water hose for. Going around it. Now I'm slowing this way down where y'all can understand this. Now, at this point, you might ask, why am I cutting here instead of up here? Well, once again, when you're skinning, you're aiming for high points. This is the high point. When I get this back, it opens up a straight line for all this, which will make a nice, easy cut at that point. So I took that little heel back, and now I've got a good straight cut from here all the way down I can make. Now this is the new high point. Hit this high point, mark it down. Just keep working your high points. Now there's other more quality ways of skinning a deer, but when you run a business where you've got a crap ton of deer that you've got to go through, you got to do what you got to do. This is a business, not a charity. Another video, another time. If I seem like I'm speeding through this, I'm sorry now, but basically just hit your high points and just push it on back in there. It's pretty self-explanatory. And when using a knife, instead of sitting here, for an example, if I sit here and go nick, you'd get 5 or 6 cuts and you got this much cut done at one time. Or I sat there and saw through it, you know, you're wasting all the, every time you rake that knife against something, you are dulling it. So instead of doing that, if you just take that knife and just push, just one cut basically opened up all that, opened up probably that much skin for that distance. So if you can get to where you just make one cut, you're going to do the knife a favor, you're going to do your body a favor, you're going to do your time a favor, you're going to do your productivity a favor. You want to make that knife work. It'll last longer, it'll stay sharper, and just make everything a lot simpler. It ain't just the lazy way of doing it, it's also the most effective, logical way of doing it. But anyways, so then I come right here, working on one side, working my way around. Usually go down one side, skin all this stuff out, work my way up the other. The more you bounce around and mess around, the more time you're wasting. Traveling time is the enemy. Steps are the enemy. The less steps you take, the less time you take from point A to point B, the better. The more you can stay in one spot, the better off you're going to be. Not saying always the perfect example of that. This is just how I'm doing it as of 2018/19 deer season. So at this point, you're following the curvature. Once you get up here, you can see that a little bit. Following the curvature of the neck, stick that knife in there, and I'm staying dead center of the neck best I can. I got a leg in the way, I don't do this way. Follow down, I go plumb out of the jaw, the best I can, way down in it, because that's more than I need, but it's said and done. Now, lay that down. This is the new high point. Touch that knife, run it up through there. Since I'm already grabbing it here, I come down here, it's not that kind of hard to see, but take that knife and rake it on down. Now what's happening is, let's say this is the neck, just to give you an example where you can see. I follow that skin down and I'm just slowly but surely working my way around that neck. Because a knife blade is straight and a deer's neck is round. So you ain't going to be able to go from this part of the neck and be at that part where you want to be. You're going to have to literally work that tip around, working it off of that neck as you're making your slices. A little time consuming, but that's how it works. Get a little juggler, that's okay. Now that neck is opened up at the bottom. Now I come over to this side. Here's my new high point. I hit that high point and I follow it on back. Now that's a little dangerous coming back, but I'm also making sure my hand is hitting my wrist. If it's over here and you slip mess up, boom, you just cut yourself. That's also bad for productivity. Dr. Bills are bad for productivity. You try to avoid them. I should technically be wearing cut gloves. If I work for, you know, a professional, quote-unquote professional, not that we know anything about that, but they most time make you wear some kind of cut-resistant glove or a chainmail type glove. Some people call them an oyster shucking glove. And oyster shucking gloves, I think, are the best. They're a little more expensive, but if they'll stop a little bitty stab, they'll stop this big old cut any day of the week. So I prefer them more than the rest, but I digress. So bring that back to the other skin. I know I can see the skin through here, which I know y'all can't. But now that that's all said and done, come over this side, finish your job up. Now it's all going to open up to that neck, just like so. Come down here, grab you a good hold. There's your new high spot. opening up all the way to the base of that skull. Now this deer is skinned out all the way halfway at this point. You're going to see me wiping this knife blade off quite a bit. If it gets too much hair on, too much whatever, I don't want to keep pushing it and sliding into the meat, which there are hairs on this deer, but that's what a water hose is for, once again. Now, I'll come to this side, show you what it normally looks like. You can hold it up, rock your knife in there, get it going, give it a crack, that joint's open. Come up here, I got hide to hold on to, it ain't sliding around on me. Go in right there, come on out, hide's open. Get my high point, come on down. May seem a bit complicated, but this is just my methods now. Do that, flip around, right-handed, this is the way it wants to naturally go. Just remember, you are right-handed, or just remember what your dominant hand is, and try to make your cuts around that hand. It'll be safer, it'll be easier on you. That's opened up pretty good. Now, I could start right there, but I have to immediately stop and then come on up. It's easier to roll it off as you're going down. Gravity's going with you anyways from this point. I know it's wasting time jumping from here to here because of the travel time, but it happens in pretty much a heartbeat, and you'll see how this turns out here in a second. Get your knife going. Hold it. You feel a natural pocket right here around this sack, and I should have followed it on that side, but I didn't. But you feel that natural pocket right there. Follow that pocket and meet your other cut. This is on the doe, it's going to be different with a buck obviously, but this will help you get around the milk sack too. Good tutorial, if you will. Now right here, there's a definite, easy, almost spiderwebby stuff right here. You don't have to get rid of it with your hands. It's that simple, but there are a few little connective aggravating pieces, and since you've already got the knife in the hand, it's easier just to go ahead and use it. Just follow her out around, follow her in that seam around. I barely nicked the gut, and that's okay. It'll help me demonstrate what's going on here in a second. So if you get something on it, they can make a garden hose for a reason. There that sack is mostly untouched. Now, we'll get to that in a second there. Now, this is just pretty simple skin and stuff here. Sorry if I keep getting in the way, but there you go, dear. Anyhow. I hope y'all can see just how much work this old knife is doing for the amount of cuts that I'm putting into it. Anyways, on these legs here, I forgot to do it on the other side. I guess I got busy talking. But the same thing. You bend them back, it makes a natural crevice right there between this bone and that bone. And you just cut it off using the back of that knife. Now, got to overlook my fabulous hair here, but anyway. Hey, I found a bullet. Hey, we did. And that's what killed it. I'd say roughly 1 out of every 5 to 10 you find a bullet in, but anyway, we'll wash that off here in a second and throw it in the pile. Okay, now, this side over here, once again, you are right-handed. This hand wants to pull, I say that again. This is my on hand, this is my off hand. It needs to pull this way, it makes life a little simpler. When you can accomplish that, ain't always doable, but you put the odds in your favor best you can. Pull it out, cut. You see how much I'm pushing that hide and moving it out of the way. 3 little cuts. I just covered that much space on that deer's side from here to there. Once again, simple concept. Follow that around. There we go. And I'll worry about that neck when I get down to it. Now, come back here. Get a good grip on the first side. Some people say, what about the tarsal gland, this, that, and the other? Like, well, once again, it's what they make a water hose for. It ain't like you're letting me sit here and run. Okay, woman just reminded me with her sign language, and not the bird finger, that I was in fact in the dim light. So, here we go. Grab that and pull down. You'll see it try to catch right here, and that's okay. Some people just pop it like that. That works too. If that don't work, grab it with both hands, keeping that knife away from you. and pull down. You don't want to slide. You don't want this hand to slide down and get cut, so you have this blade pointed that way. I also don't want to stab yourself, so you don't have it pointed down when you're doing this, because that'll get you too. So you see me grab it like this, or just in another safe fashion where you're not going to get cut. Try to keep the odds in your favor. But open up that muscle a little bit, didn't hit it enough. That's okay. They're not going to miss that much. All right. Same thing over here. Grab this, and I might get a better example of it. I did. That one just popped right off. Milk sack still in there. Tail's still up there as well. Now, what happened here, even when pulling the hide off, you're aiming for high spots. I pulled this one down, this became the new high spot, pulled it down, this became the new high spot, pulled it down. You can see the hide's low here, but it's high up here. It ain't gonna do me no good to keep pulling this side. That's why you swap back and forth. Okay, now it's back to the point where I want this one splitting. There, we don't want none of that. Just for show and tell, there's a stripped deer tail. There it is cut off. There's 50 little joints in there. You just pick one. You just literally, if you don't get the first whack, you just keep digging that knife a little deeper and a little deeper. And these are the simplest joints out there. They're just a flat bone. They're easy to find. If you don't find the first one, just keep going, keep turning that blade until you find one. Just come on down. That's the simplest thing to get out. Now, this deer, for all intents and purposes, and just because we got some hide to pick, I'm going to get rid of this milk sack. Anyways, now this deer is skinned out from the front all the way to the back for the most part. So the next part is fixing to look really, really cool. Because that can happen. There's nothing holding on in the back. Now, here, it's just a matter of hitting your high points and working around. Looks like a solid motion, but I'm actually getting two cuts in one. It ain't just sitting there sawing for no reason, it's going and going. You want that knife pushing forward. This is a knife, not a saw. A saw does this, a knife does that. And the more you can use it as such, better off you will be. Anyways, get down till you see some ear cartilage. There's some right here. There's some right here, touching the back of that ear. Fingers are touching right there, ear cartilage. That tells me I'm at the base of the skull. When I get to the base of the skull, using just the back of that knife as much as I can, ring it. It makes the next step easier. Turn it around, where your ring was just at, going in line with the jaw, which I don't know if y'all can see there now. The jaw comes up, hooks up this way at this angle. So going from this cut in line with the jaw, stab in right there, cut the voice box out. You don't need that no ways. Now when you get in here, you can kind of feel for it, but not really. But what I do, once you know you've hit the back of that skull, you can just rake across right there. You see a little joint that just come open? Hopefully you can right there. That is the atlas joint. That is where the base of the skull hooks up with the spine. I hate dulling a tip on something, but this spot you pretty much have to. But there it is. That's what you're looking for. You know where the joint opens up like that. Now, a couple things can happen right here. One, you can come in from the side and rake your knife back and forth, and once it's pushed back and open, you can push and rake your knife in there, and you eventually take that whole head off. Now, what I like to do is just take and give it a crack. I have to rake it anyways. Now, it's separated. Base of the skull, the next vertebrae, and the spinal cord system there. Now that it's hanging by a thread, now's the time for me to go ahead and move this hide off. Once again, we got hide people picking him up. There's the hide. Hide is still not coming back and touching. So now you can reach in there and just finish it off. Just push through it. There's the deer's head. That quick. Next, you got your windpipe right here. It's just a simple matter of coming up to the shoulders and whacking that windpipe off. That holds a lot of bacteria that don't need to be there. Now here is where the gutting portion comes into play. Now then, it starts back here. I'll get this turned around. I know you're going to be too short for this, but
stick your little knife in right there at the corner. There's a couple ways of doing it, but if you can reach in there and grab a hold, like so, and work your knife all the way around, whichever way your knife is, no matter which way the knife is, you move your hand the other side like a squirrel going around the tree trying to avoid the hunter. You just keep pulling it away from the knife. It opens up the knife leverage. Now once that's cut, let it fall down in there. That's run all the way around. Now I can go to the other side and I can either pull it out through the other side or I can pull it out with minimal cutting. No bag was busted, nothing. You don't want to stab so deep where you hit that piss sack neither, or the bladder, whatever you want to call it. Next step. This has already been opened up just a touch by accident, but if you notice when a deer is hanging like this, there's this pocket right here. There's nothing here. And that's good. That's where you can get your knife in there and you can get it started. Now there's several ways of gutting a deer at this point. Some people do it method where you pull it out, hold your two fingers almost like a hook, and just work your way down. I'll do a little quick demonstration like so. But you got to keep reaching in there and the guts keep trying to pop out and get you and everything else. There's another method where people have taken, this is dangerous but it works, they've taken the tip of that knife, and I'll demonstrate up here a little bit, but if you got the tip right there, that tip ain't going to bury into nothing because your finger's in the way. So what it does is you can get up under it and just kind of reach and just use the tip, which just, I'm not going to do that, but y'all get the concept. I could reach under there like this and go through like so. That works as well, but that involves stopping, having to reposition your knife, and plus you screw up for any reason, hit something, pull back too quick and hit your body, you'll stab yourself. It works, but it ain't the best method. Another method is, and this one works really nice, probably my second preferred method, is you got to rechange your situation. You got to come over this other side. If you're right-handed, you got to reach in here like this, and there's a natural crook on these style of knives. Hopefully y'all can see that, where the handle comes way down and makes a guard right there. That does two things. One, it keeps your hand from sliding up and cutting yourself, because that'd be bad. And two, if you reach in there, you can just kind of hug it if the back of your knife is sharp and push on down. It opens up just fine as well, as you can see. You just open it and it's ready to go. Now, I've opened up more than I normally do, so my method might not work ideally in this one, because normally I start here in the open spot and just come down. Now what happens is, with my method, you reach in there, you get that little pocket opened up from a hanging carcass, and turn your knife like that. See, I can see my blade over here. With that blade in the side of it, it never opens up any of these guts. You can't stab a gut doing that, and if you just kind of hug the edge and come on down, you'll never get into them. This is good because when you get this position, you're looking at it. You ain't got to change position to do it like this. You ain't got to risk stabbing yourself. You ain't got to sit there and take forever to get down it. You just reach that knife and go whack and open it up. But I've got guts trying to push on me now, so we'll see how it works. Just open up like that. And I know it took a lot of explaining, but this all could have happened in like a second. But now y'all just pick out which one works best for y'all. Y'all get stabbed, it ain't my fault. I'm showing y'all that I don't need that yet. Crazy. Anyways, now this is slightly in the way. Now there's a couple ways of doing this. You could reach in here, grab that, grab the rectum or whatever, pull it down. You could reach in there in the base of that rib cage. I know I'm in the slide here, but you reach in that rib cage there and grab that hard and grab that windpipe and pull everything out. Now what I like to do, a little bit different, I want to reach these guts up and get them out of the way. Now you got a xiphoid right here, which has been split just a little bit, not bad. And either side of that, y'all see the center line of this brisket. The brisket is hard. You can't get into that, but just over either side of that, you actually feel that it's got some give to it. If you can get off center of that just a little bit, your knife will open that up just like a zipper, all the way down to the throat. You'll open up the whole rib cage like that, as long as you don't hit nothing too bad and stay on line. Anyways, I'm going to pull them guts up out of the way, get this knife going. Probably go down the right side, just like so. And it was that quick. Now, sometimes you got to get out of the way in a heartbeat. And I did, I lift that last rib. Now you see me, I just reached there and finished it. This thing's open up all the way now. Now that's where you get bloody, in case you ain't figured that out by now. Heads up. Woman's pretty bloody too. She got a little. Anyways, that's where it gets bloody also. Now, going that deep, if you're going for organ meat, that's not good because every time you're pretty much guaranteed to hit that hard. But see where I took his knife and just opened it up like a zipper. It is very doable. And the heart is sliced. I can feel it right there. But now, it's just a free fry. It's where the gut bucket comes in. Just makes life a little simpler. Now right here, you're going to reach in. You're going to grab that and pull down. There's your rectum. Hopefully I can get it out of the way. I know I'm cutting the side here, but it don't really make a dang. Or the side meat. Just reaching in here, working some fat, getting it out of the way. It ain't the fastest in the world, but it'll get the job done. Alright, right here at this point, you got your diaphragm. Hopefully you can see that right there. Anyways, she got shot. There's just a concussion off the bullet. Anyways, right in here, hopefully y'all can see that pretty well. But this is your diaphragm. This is what separates your boiler room or your chest cavity from your guts or your abdominal cavity, whatever you're going to call it. Abdominal. There you go. Now, this diaphragm hugs this rib cage all the way around at an angle like this, and on this side as well. All I do, reach that knife in, come around with it. Come over this side, reach that knife in, come around with it. Then you just keep cutting down here, tugging the spine kind of, following your way down, and come over here and finish your windpipe. Not your windpipe, but your diaphragm. Once it's down here, there's into the windpipe where you finished it off from earlier. You can pull it down, let it off, and that's everything from butthole to windpipe, all in the sack, unbusted, one piece, ready to go. Now, at this point, it's cleanup time. If you shot this thing in the head, all you gotta do is wash this off and you are done. But most people ain't gonna shoot them in the head for obvious reasons. You risk a lot trying to make a headshot. And a little bit of meat is better than no meat, so wash the knife off, make sure everything's good and clean. Next step, now we got to assess bullet wound damage. I can also see a lot of blood over here, so that's going to be an issue. I look in the rib cage, and I can see a big hole right here where it got shot. Now, since I found the bullet back here, here's the remainder of that damage. So this tells me that this deer got shot from this side, and the bullet wound up back here. So this is about the cleanest gut shot I've ever seen in my life. Holy crap, that went right through the guts. But anyways, guy come out really, really lucky on that. Maybe that's why he didn't want to gut it. Oh, she's gut shot. Yeah, we'll just let them do it. But anyways, so back here, we got some bullet wound damage. We don't need none of that. When you let them hang, the less stuff they got on them, the better. So when they hang, you're basically letting them marinate. And if they're marinating with bloodshot and all that nasty stuff, that's what it's going to taste like. It's going to literally marinate and affect the taste of the meat by doing that. You take meat, put it in Dale steak sauce, and you let it sit in there for 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days later, it's going to taste like Dale steak sauce. So you want to marinate it with just straight meat and not bloodshot and nastiness. That's why I skin them as soon as they come in. Just the least with that blood and nastiness can seep into the meat. The least time that does that, the better. The better product you start with, the better product you end up with. Now, on this shoulder, let me get this thing turned around so you can see it a little better. On this shoulder, I want to rake it a little bit and see what I've actually got. Okay. A little bit on the fat here. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more damage once I get in there. So dough is quite fat, so you got to account for the fat too. There's little seams in here. You just hit them seams and get the nastiness out of the way. And there's all bloodshot, all nasty stuff. That is not, I ain't got to contend with that later. That's out of the picture. That's said and done for. Rake some more out of the way. Okay, now this light red ain't bad. Dark red is bad because the water hose will get that off. Okay, now that I've pretty well assessed the outside, this other shoulder should be unharmed because there's no wound going to it whatsoever. So I ain't even got to open that shoulder up, which is nice. Now, if I was to wash this thing off right now, or if I was to wash it off after I open the shoulder up, which y'all see what that is here in a second, I'd open it up and this side would still be nasty because when it's upside down, the hose won't hit it. So what you do is you come up here and you hit it when it's like that. Remember all that red? You put that hose to it, it'll take it right off, and if it don't, it'll exaggerate it to where you can come back with a knife and do minimal work. But either way, it goes in and gets all that hair off and everything. That way you got to continue with it later. Now if that's done, you can grab it down here, grab it wherever. Just for me, I ain't got to bend over as much. And for me, I've got better leverage because it's more of an oval shape instead of a round, slippery shape. So grab here, and you're going to be able to see this shoulder. And actually, me taking this outside sheet off, it was all bloodshot. I actually helped, once again, exaggerate this because you can see that now. See where that shoulder's popping out? Let me get around here. You might get a better look. It don't mean you move too. But you can see where it opens up and comes away from the body. That's where you're aiming for. You come in from the top or the bottom. Just for me, I come in from the bottom. That way I know I can miss that tenderloin. Because your tenderloin is right here. It runs from the neck all the way back to the hip, or your back strap. Your tenderloin is technically on the inside, but everybody calls that a tenderloin. But anyways, now you can see what kind of damage is actually in here. If I would not have opened this up, you would never even known there's this much damage inside of it. This has all got to go for a better hanging result. So what I do is I come back and nick and see what's going on. I see more red. I don't see much this way. Rake that off. That's clean. I know it's hard for y'all to see. See, that seems clean. That's nasty. And it's just a matter of seeing the nasty stuff and getting it gone. There's that tenderloin. We're trying to stay out of it best we can. But these ain't, you know, farm raised, farm killed animals neither. Although from the fat on this, and you wouldn't be able to tell it. But anyways, raking some of this off, see what we're actually dealing with. This shoulder ain't gonna be hanging by much just because all the connective stuff around it is quite bloody. Right here, son, it's got to go. You're just trying to trim it away. And I feel a bunch of bone fragments in here too, and that's another bad sign. That means that's a shoulder shot. And for y'all that hunt, don't shoot them in the shoulder. My God. Take it from your processor. Take it from a processor. You'll get more meat back. And your butcher just might love you. You can't never take it. Now, it ain't a guarantee, but you know, don't tempt fate if you ain't got to. But I mean, all that got waste, and that was the biggest muscle on his shoulders, his back, little tricep, whatever you call that. Well, he lost over half of that, plus also the bloodshot and stuff. So, let's see how horrible a shot this was. Okay, this was a really bad shot because that means that deer got barely shot in the shoulder blade, and it was quartering towards him really, really bad. So he almost, I'd say he might have clipped lung. I don't remember seeing a hole in that diaphragm. Yeah, there had to have been. Okay, but either way, he probably got a lung, but it wasn't good. Let's put it that way. It wasn't the best shot. If one of them's quartering towards you, you want to try to shoot them in front of the shoulder. That way it'll go in front of that shoulder and then come out behind the off shoulder, and it would have tore his boiler room up, and he wouldn't have run as hard probably. But either way, it might have been the only shot they had. Might have been a moving target. I don't know. But you know, if you ain't got to tempt fate, don't tempt fate. If you got a good, still ethical shot. But either way, that's most of the blood. I saw all the really dark blood spots taken up. Now it's just this light red. Light red is not bad. Light red will just wash right off. As you'll see here in a second. Come back. That is a totally new critter just that fast. Hopefully y'all can pick that up on camera. I don't know. But there it is. Now then, this other side, I ain't got to open it up. Still going to wash it off. Old habit, old habit. Now, this deer, if all the cut work is done, is gutted, all I got to do now is wash this off and hang it. And there's a way I'll wash it off too, makes life a little simpler. Get it down right about where I'm going to pick it up and tote it off here in a second. Water is not really a dense material, but it is a material in this world, and all materials in this world are affected by gravity. Unless you're like heating them and piss on you heating them. Anyways, so we're going to start from the top and rinse down. Any hair that gets caught is going down. You're going to see me spin this deer back and forth several times. Kind of like, it's like skinning but with water. You're hitting your high points and just coming down all the way down. So, I'm going to come up here, take my time, going back and forth like this, and going down. The water hose is angled down. If it's angled like this, you might blow it into muscle, you might blow it into the film more, you're going to tempt fate more, it might blow back and hit you in the face. It's not good, once again, not good for productivity and enjoyment of your work day. So, angle down. However steep is up to you, it really don't matter. If you see a piece of hair, wash it off, let it gone. It don't need to be there. And right here, you just reach in there with any hose, just make a circular motion all the way around. Don't twist it against that too. Inside the hip bone there. Come back around. Notice she ain't standing too close when I got this hose. Anyway, do this, come over here. You're trying to reach every little nook and cranny that you can get into. You need to get into. It needs to be cleaned off. Any spots that might be troublesome, like that bowling ring there, wash it off as best you can. You know, I got a hose where, once again, it saves time. Even the hose itself, I can make a fan, I can get it right down. I ain't got to adjust the head. That's just more stuff to screw up, more stuff to go bad. This is all metal, and I adjust it, and with one hand at one time. I can adjust it holding over here from the fan to a really hard spray, while this hand is holding, doing whatever. This saves you a lot of time by getting you one of these, I guess, one-handed water, I don't know what you call them, one-handed sprayers, I don't know. Not really good with the terminology, I'm just pretty good with the methods. So, same thing over here, anywhere there's a little cranny, get it gone, make it go away. Just starting from the top and working your way down. Now, as far as y'all are concerned, this is as far as y'all need to take, because everything else from here on out is going to be stuff that I do specifically for processing. I wash the blood back, that way I'm not tracking it all through the processing. And I put a tag on the leg and I hang it on the hook back there. So, as far as y'all are concerned, this is pretty much the video for y'all. I think the woman's going to keep recording, and she does, that's up to her. But either way, there you go.